the king's horses and all the king's men, they went off to fight a war and they never came home again. They never came home again. They never came home again. King's horses and all the king's men, they went off to fight a war and they never came home again. They never came home again. They never came home again.
Welcome, everyone, to It Matters Radio. I'm Monica Brinkman. If this is your first time here with us, and if it's not, you know that we do hold interviews with wonderful musical guests from all over the world. And today we are verifying that because we have a guest that is coming to us from Italy, I believe, but we'll get more into that. And you also, if you've been viewing our show, know Kerry Hall. Kerry Hall is our musical guest host. Hello, Kerry. Welcome.
Hi, hello everybody. Welcome to It Matters Radio. We're always glad to see everybody.
Yeah, Kerry, I see that you have a beautiful woman right here with us today. So can you introduce her to everyone?
I would be so delighted. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dos Flores. She is a multi-instrumentalist, a producer, singer, and songwriter. And we've had her on the show before about a year ago, and she has just been doing some fabulous stuff, which we're going to talk about briefly. Welcome to the show, Dos Flores.
Hi, Dos. How are
Thank you.
you?
Okay. Hi, great to be here with you guys.
Great. I want to
Thank
start
you.
out with the very beginnings of the beginnings. You started out playing music very young. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, I started when I was 4 or 5 years old playing piano and singing. So I used to sing whenever I could, really. And yeah, I was on the stage from quite an early age as well. I remember when I was 8, I was in a nativity play. I was Mary at the front singing some song. And all the angels were in a semicircle around. And the hall where we were doing the performance got so hot that when I was singing, all the angels started fainting. I'm not joking. Like, just boom, 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 all around me. And I was like, oh God, is that my voice? Is it so terrible that everyone wants to know? I'm joking. But yeah. So yeah, from an early age. But I never could get I don't know, on the piano, because I think I was kind of schooled in it. It became very difficult to invent songs on it. They kind of didn't tend to go anywhere. So it was only when I got a guitar and something I didn't know how to play that I started making up my own stuff, which was more structured. And that was a lot later on.
So we just played a wonderful song, All the King's Men. Is that correct?
All the King's Horses.
Horses, excuse me, All the King's Horses. It is such a beautiful and rich video. Talk a little bit about the song, too.
The song, yeah. It started actually with a riff. I was trawling around on the internet and I found this snippet on those royalty-free sites where you can get little samples, and I got one of those, and I was just fiddling around and came up with all the rhythm and all the kind of the weird stuff that goes on rhythmically in the song. And then, as usually happens when I write songs, I just stood in front of the microphone and didn't think of anything and started singing. And the whole thing kind of came out, and then it was a matter of structuring it into the bits I wanted and how I wanted it to go. And I was really into, I was really into, it was the time of the Iraq War. I'm not sure how political I should get, but it's just war seems so futile, and so it is, and nursery rhymes, it's like fairy tales. They tell deep truths, and I suppose that's subconsciously what came out at that time. Yeah.
Right.
So it's very.
You filmed it in a beautiful area. Where did you film it? Because it was amazing.
We filmed it. Yeah, we filmed it in the hills just behind where I live, which is the kind of beginnings of the Apennines. And it was, we got up at 4 a.m, and we were driving up the roads to get to the hills, which is like 10-minute drive. And there was a massive rainbow. It was so cool, and that was kind of okay. It's going to be a good day. But it was. I had to run. I don't know if you saw the boots I'm wearing.
Yes.
I had the biggest blisters because I was running from 5 o'clock in the morning to like 7 at night, and we had a 2-hour break in between. And the hills that you see, they look all grassy and nice, but there were kind of streams running through them and nettles and brambles. And so I was kind of crawling, and the video director was going, my friend Nat Wilms, who's a very talented director, she was going, run, run. I go, I'm trying to run, but I can't because I've got a stream and brambles and trees. But it all's well that ends well. It was amazing. It was done just with a handheld camera. There were no fancy flying things or.
Yeah, well, you could have fooled me because I thought it was so professionally well done. Oh my God! And I'm thinking to myself, Oh my God, she better climb up that hill. Oh my, it was very effective. The music is effective. Now, you are actually very multi-talented in other instruments. What other instruments do you play, and what made you decide to kind of get into other stuff?
What? Yeah, that's a good question. What made me get into? I play the flute and recorders, piano, guitar, drums where I need to. Um, yeah, and that's kind of what I play. But what made me start to play those things? I suppose it was, you can get all these MIDI instruments, and you can basically play whatever instrument you want from a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, I don't like the sound of this instrument. It doesn't seem real.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, I'm just going to play it on the flute. And I played the recorder. So after a bit of practice, and a friend I said, I need to play this because I'd already written it on the keyboard. And she was like, oh, okay, it's this fingering. And so I just did. And from there, now when I play live, I've kind of made the flute bit more interesting. But it's fun. It's so cool just picking up stuff you don't know what to do with, and just trying to get the best sound you can out of it. So I'm not a professional flute player, but I could kind of get by, I suppose. I think that stands for all of the instruments.
Excuse me.
Right. Well, it's unique. The music is so unique, and I'm just blown away by it, to be honest with you. So you got top 5 album 2015. Top what? It was that Widowed Earth. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was for the Widowed Earth, which was very great.
That must be amazing. And speaking of Widowed Earth, let's show our viewers that beautiful CD and talk a little bit about the.
So I've got one right here.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's
and
talk
this
about
is the back. I don't know if that comes across at all. Yeah.
That's cool. That's very cool. So the Widowed Earth, talk a little bit about the genesis of the album, and I love the title, Widowed Earth.
I'm glad. I love it too. Yeah, I love it too. So the genesis of the album, I used to play with a rock pop band, and I suddenly got really into electronic music, and they were going very much in the rock pop direction, and so I left. And I'd started work on a few songs, and I already had, I wanted to do something on my own. But it's funny, all the tracks that I was working on never made the album at the end of the day. But it was, where did it all really start? It started with Rivers, actually, which is the first proper track on the album, where, again, I stood in front of a microphone, and it just sounded so different to the songs I was writing before, and it made me so excited. And that was the real, how they say that every album has its go track, the one that you then can build everything around. Mm-hmm. That was definitely the go track for me, working on the album. And I really wanted to do something beautiful, because before I was trying to be all tough and kind of black leather and all the rest of it, and I always felt it wasn't really me. And so I wanted to do something beautiful. That was my main thing. And there were different musical things, of course, I wanted to do within the album. But the whole thing took me 3 years to put together, because I did it all myself, playing and arranging and writing. And so problems that maybe if I'd been in 3 could have been solved in 2 days, they took like 2 weeks, when you come to humps that you have to get over. And then I was really into a lot of poetry at the time, so Ted Hughes and nature writing, so Jay Griffiths and stuff like that, which came out. But what I didn't realize I was doing was also writing about myself. So I thought I was writing about big worldly themes, and and also how alienated we're becoming from nature and our roots and stuff like that. But it was very much as well how the hills around my house that we spoke about earlier, they kind of saved me. So I was in a foreign country, didn't know anyone, and I had anorexia and stuff like that, she says. And nature really helped me so much. So as a way, I suppose there's the worldly theme, which is kind of the state, like seeing films like, or reading books like The Road by McCarthy, and the dystopia of the future. That day actually was written after I watched and read that book, which is the track on the album. But again, it was also talking about my childhood, and I suppose when you lose the joy in life, because depression or anorexia, you lose the joy in everything. And it was about trying to find the joy that you have when you're very young, that comes naturally, and you have to then try and get it back.
Well,
Wow.
I think that whole album just takes the listener on such a journey.
It really
Oh,
does.
brilliant.
It's not just with the
Brilliant.
words, but it's with the music also. The atmosphere of it is
Right.
outstanding. And I can see
Thank you
why.
so much.
Well, I know that fans adore you, and you're getting so much more known, and you deserve it so much.
Thank you. That's very kind of you to say, and very means a lot, because it's one thing, to have a vision, and I thank you so much for saying that the songs create an atmosphere and take you on a journey, because I suppose when you're working on something and I was listening to some of these songs kind of 12 hours a day, or 7 or 8 at least, and
Right.
it was the flow had to be right.
Yes.
So each song has its, like, nothing is there. I suppose with this album, nothing is there because how am I going to say this? Nothing is there just gratuitously. Like every bit is there because it should be there. I feel like, and even timing. So the song "The Widowed Earth," there's no time in that song. So because it had to be, because when I put it to a metronome, it just became all squashed, and it had to be free and move. So
Right.
for you saying that, that's a lot of work kind of went into making sure that was right. So that's wonderful to hear. Thank
So
you.
you have, the music is so beautiful, and you have such a love of your art. It just comes across so strongly when we play your music. It just blows us away. Let's go back to 2011. I believe that's when it kind of came together for you. They said you led kind of a Harry Potter existence under a staircase. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I did. So my studio was my computer, my keyboard and stuff was at home. I have a staircase, and it does this and goes around, and there's a bit under the staircase, and that's where my zany studio. I didn't have a door or anything, but that's where I was for 8-9 hours a day, was behind the keyboard with my computer here, and everything was under the staircase. I've moved since then. I've moved.
You've gone up in life.
I'm now in the yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm now in the garage, so I've gone from under the staircase to the garage. So
But
yeah,
you have
but
much more room. Well, listen,
Much.
yeah, but
speaking
the
of
funny
music,
was I didn't.
I'm sorry. Go
Sorry.
right ahead.
No.
Well, I actually
Oh,
wanted to take.
I didn't.
Go ahead, Des.
Go ahead, Dory.
I want to hear
Go
what
ahead,
you
Liz.
said to
Oh,
say.
I didn't have any. I didn't have any speakers, so everything was done on headphones. And then halfway through, I got myself some terrible tiny speakers, those kind of crappy radio things. And so a lot of the monitoring was done that way. So yeah, but now I've got proper monitors. So the garage is a step up.
It
Sorry,
is.
I interrupted you.
Absolutely. Listen, I think it'd be a good time for us to take a break right now. I want to present to you a song that is called Water, and it's outstanding. So, folks, get ready to hear this, and we will be back to chat with you and with our wonderful guest, Dos Floris, in just a few. So, enjoy.
know it all before it came. So did life pass me by and trip me again. And the sand watered me down so. I was lied before. I was lied before. And I dreamt I was falling. Couldn't hold your hand no more. And the slow waves drifting. Oh, salt and water. Oh, salt and water. Calmed me down.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this wonderful music presented by Dos Floris. She's fabulous, fabulous. We just played a beautiful new song called Water. And I want to talk a little, again, the video is stunning. The music is stunning. Let's talk about that new song.
Sure. The video, do you want to talk about? Or everything?
Everything.
Everything, okay. I'll start with the video. That was done in the Apennines on the border with Tuscany, so Emilia-Romagna and Tuscany. And can I just say to anyone who's watching this, and you guys as well, if you're in Italy, please can you go there? It's the most beautiful place. It's called Corno alle Scale National Park. And you can walk for like a day and not see anyone. Unbelievable. It's amazing. So beautiful. So that was done there. But we had a crystal ball that someone lent us. And the makeup artist had to build little mountains in the water. But I was terrified because I promised this man that his crystal ball would come back untouched.
Oh.
And so it was like everyone balancing all this stuff. And then Paul, one of the makeup artists, got hit by a branch because the other one was, untangling the woods, and she got hit on the shot. Yeah, but we had a great time. It was magical. The song came from a dream I had actually when I was 5. So I had a dream where I was at the bottom of the sea, and my family were all at the bottom of the sea, and everyone got a hot air balloon, in dreams, to the top of the surface, and I couldn't get on, and I was left at the bottom. And yes, so that's the origin to that song. And again, it came out when I stood in front of the microphone and sang, and the words came out, and I probably tweaked bits afterwards. But it was about, I suppose, not being able to hold on. Well, I suppose that comes across anyway. But that was the origin of the song, that dream.
Well, that's a beautiful song, stunning. Again, gosh, I get chills when I think about the music and the video. Wow.
Okay. Thank you.
So you are in Italy, and it's a beautiful country. You came there originally from London. I think, was it you said once your family moved to Italy? What made you stay?
No. So I moved.
You moved.
I moved. I fell in love with an Italian man, and I moved. The Italians say all the foreign women, they all move here for love. Because it was like, you're not going to move here for a job. You all come here for the Italian men.
I love Italian men, but I'm Italian, so.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's a croissant. That's a good. Sorry, I'm Spanish. Can't help it.
Oh.
What can I say?
But you're close. That's close.
I'm only German by marriage, so my maiden name is Guadagno. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Whereabouts in Italy are you originally from?
I know my father was from Sicily, but his mother was from northern Italy. So.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a little bit of both, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, no, it's fun. It's the same with the guy I moved for. Half his family's from Sicily, and the other half is from northern Italy.
How about that?
So,
must be a good combination.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So I have two questions,
Mm.
but I'll start with the first one. Okay. Do you like live performing, or do you prefer studio?
I love both. If you'd asked me that question a year ago, I would have gone, I love the studio, I don't know. I love the live as well. No, I love both. Each has its own. So I love sitting there and, tweaking things and ideas and all the rest of it in the studio, and time just goes. And it wouldn't be complete, actually, without then bringing it to a live setting, where the kind of setup I have at the moment, which is I'm on my own and I use looping pedals and all the instruments we talked about before. And so it's very risky, like a lot can go very, very wrong. But I love it. I don't know whether it's because I love kind of, being an exhibitionist or whatever. I just love, I think I love being able to sing, finally and see people that I'm singing to, rather than, you know, standing in front of a microphone looking at a wall.
Right.
And going, oh, I hope someone's listening to this. Yeah.
So go ahead, Monica. Go ahead.
How are the people responding when you're live? Are they just cheering and loving it?
Yeah, so far what's happened, and this is, so I played a gig in England, and all the rest have been in Italy, and Italian audiences are really hard because they talk non-stop. So if you're a big band, you know, with a big sound, you just turn up, you know, your volume's so loud you can't really
drown
but when
out.
exactly, when you're playing in smaller settings, it can be really quite hard. And what I found with the concerts I played so far with this album is it's amazing is that people are talking when I start, and I hope this doesn't come across as because I'm so great, you know, because it's not that, but there's something about the music that they stop and they come in and they sit there till the end, and I was so happy and amazed by it. I couldn't actually believe it, to be honest, at the beginning. And they say it's hypnotic, and you know, it takes you somewhere, which is the best I could ask for.
That's why I was wondering how they reacted, because I can't imagine anyone listening to this music and not just going, wow, and just taking in every note and every sound and every movement. So
yeah, well, thank you. It's so it's that's been, as you say, a really pleasant surprise, that aspect of it. And what was the other thing? Because I suppose I'm having to deal with so much stuff to control at the time. I can't dedicate huge amounts of time to chatting or I can't not be concentrated, because if I'm out of my thing, everything, just because I have to remember to push this and push that and then all the rest of it.
Yeah, the timing.
One day.
Timing's everything.
One day I'd love an orchestra. That would be the coolest thing.
Wow.
And just to sing, So small ambitions, no.
No, it's
one day.
Great. It's a great ambition.
Can you imagine that, though? Wouldn't that be outstanding?
Is there one venue that you performed at, Dos Floris, that really stands out for you?
One venue that really, yes. So Freak Out Club, which is a small, dingy club in Bologna. And it was just a great evening. It was really great. It was one of those evenings where you see a whole load of people you've never met before, you know, coming in. Because at the beginning, friends come, you know, at the very beginning of any kind of artistic endeavor. And this was the third evening I did live concert. And it was just full of people I'd never met before, and coming up afterwards and going, oh, and how did you do this? And it was great. And also the launch party. The launch party was another one where I was surrounded by people who I know, so friends and family were there. And it was so nice because they'd seen me kind of working, you know, for 3 years on this thing. And I was so nervous. because I played live a lot before, but for 3 years I hadn't at all. So it was just literally, and suddenly bringing this thing, you know, it made it all real. Then it was finished once it was being played live.
Wow.
Yeah, so those two.
So, speaking of music, where can we find and purchase your music at?
So the album is available on all the streaming sites, so Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, etc. For download, it's on iTunes and CD Baby, Bandcamp, Amazon, basically all the usual things. And physically, it's available from Rough Trade on their online website or at their shops in London. Disco d'Oro, an independent record shop based in Bologna, also who has an online service, and also from Bandcamp, and also from Dynamic Records, my record label. Can also
and you also have a website. Could you mention your website?
Yeah, sure. www.dosfloris.com. Yeah, Yeah, so everything's on there as well, where you can buy
Easy to
stuff.
remember. Easy to remember.
Very,
Yeah.
very easy.
So what do you have going on in the next few months?
Yeah.
Exciting. No, I'm really excited. So, I've got a concert in April in London, which I'm really looking forward to, which has all been sold out already, which is great. So now I just have to, now I just have to deliver a really great evening.
The hard part.
Exactly.
No, actually, the hard part was getting it sold out. But
That's great.
yeah,
Yeah, the hard part that was like step one, and now
yeah,
the scarier step two is
that's
making
right.
sure it's a really good show.
Right, right.
So then we've got a new video which will be ready for February for another song from the Widowed Earth. We're doing a video for Before You Love Me, which is going to be I can't
I
wait for
love
you to
that
see it.
song.
Oh, great. Well, I hope you like the video. So that'll be ready. Also, I'm working on the new EP. I can't wait for you to hear some of the songs. Yeah, I think I think I've just written the best song I've ever written
Oh gosh.
so far.
Well, you have
Oh,
to
So
let
the
us.
new EP, does it have a title, or are you gonna let us know at some point? But the new,
I'll let you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The EP. I think. So far, I think I'm going to call it Submarine,
Oh,
but it
okay.
might change.
That might change
Yeah,
by
it
then.
might.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
might. That's the work in progress,
Well,
as in the
gosh,
name in progress.
you have to send us some of your music once you
Please.
have created that, and we'll give it some airtime, and
Thank
and
you.
maybe even come
Thank
back
you.
next year when
We would love to have you back.
Lovely.
Well, I mean, actually, this is the
No, but
first. This is New Year's Day right now, but maybe mid-year would be a nice time to come back.
Please.
love to.
Let us
No, and
know what's
thank you
going
both
on.
very, very much for
You're
all
welcome.
your support. It matters. It's really great. So
I
thank you.
just want to tell anyone who is maybe just decided they were going to click on and listen to the show. If you missed any of this music, it's a shame because you need to go back to the podcast we're going to have on YouTube and take a listen to all the music, even though we're going to play a little bit more in just a couple minutes or so. But does you're one of the most extremely talented artists I've ever met. I mean, you are a one man,
Really.
I
Oh,
should say a one woman band. You do
yeah.
everything. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, I have some help though. I mean, in the mixing and the
Right.
mastering process.
But
So
it's
thank
you.
God.
And you
Yeah.
are described, I have to say this, I love this. You are described as a powerhouse.
I
Hello.
know. I know.
Superwoman, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I really like that one too. I was like, oh, I love that expression. Woman powerhouse.
It suits.
That's
Anyway,
right.
we
So,
want to thank you for joining us. We
yes.
do appreciate. We realize it's kind of late there in Italy. Everybody, once again, this is Dos Forest, multi-talented artist, singer, songwriter. Please check out Widowed Earth. It's a fabulous CD, something you need to purchase and buy it for your friends because it's amazing music. She's a unique talent and we love her. And that's, we do. We love her. She's fabulous.
Yeah, and this is a type of music that you can give to anyone of almost any age. And you can't often find that. You either have, oh, this person's a rock lover, this person's this lover. Everybody loves this music. So, uh, if you want to give a gift to someone, give them this. It's something that's going to last them forever. So,
Thank you.
well, those Floris, thank you again for stopping by
Thank
and chatting with us.
Thank you both.
And
Thank you
we're
very
so
much.
very proud of you. You just every time we see you, you're just doing more and more and becoming more and more known and successful, and we love it.
I thank you. Well, that's thanks to people like you as well who
Aw.
help a lot. So thank you.
Well, you
you.
take care, okay? And
Take care.
we'll
You guys
chat with you
too, and have
again.
a happy New Year.
Thank
Oh,
Happy New
you.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Woo.
Bye
Happy New Year.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Carrie, Well, you know, I love Joe's Floris's music. You love her music, and I can't express to people how much they should be sharing this with other people because
Mhm.
it's better than even reading a book. I mean, because she tells stories with each one of her videos if you watch
Yes.
them, and even if you're just listening to the music itself, it tells a complete story.
Hmm.
And it's not loud. It's I don't know how you could really explain it because it's kind of in a category all its own. It's not
Hmm.
electro, it's not pop, it's not rock.
Nope.
It's a little bit of all that mixed into one and more,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know?
And the perfect description of her is a powerhouse. To me, that just says who she is. And I just see her in the future just doing amazing things. And Widowed Earth, people, it's an amazing CD. The music is
Exactly.
great.
Right. And you hear Carrie going on about this. She doesn't usually do that.
No, I don't.
She might mention it once, but if Carrie's telling you that it's amazing, it is amazing. So with that, folks, I think we've talked enough, and it's time that we listen to a little bit more music from Joe's Flores. And until next time, everybody, you keep rocking, and we'll keep bringing you the music. Bye bye.
Bye.